Hello. Good morning. What are we doing today? Does anyone know what we'll be doing today? Who is that? Who said more ECS system optimizations? Because you're correct. You are correct. Okie dokie then. Optimizations, environment, optimization. Okay, looking good over there. Twitch, hello? There I am. Okie dokie. Another day, another Bud Light ad. Is that what you... Wait, did you just get a Bud Light ad? Is that why you're saying that? Or are you saying that I'm a Bud Light ad? I hope I'm not a Bud Light ad. Welcome, Endo. Good morning. Enter username here. Okay, let's get started. So... more ECS refactors today, more optimizations. And what I was digging into a little bit last night was actually, I just did some very small, tiny things, ittle bitty things with the ISM processor, the attachment processor. I mean, ads for Bud Light. Yeah, I feel like ads for beer shouldn't be played at 8:30 in the morning. But that's just me. Let's save that till like 4 p.m. But I did a little bit of work on the attachment processor, on the ISM processor. I found out yesterday that multiplying transforms together is a non-trivial operation. Turns out. I had no idea. Hadn't the faintest of ideas. So I wrote my own, of course, transform multiplier that doesn't take into account scale, and that like sped it up by like 1.5 to 2 times the specifically the because I was doing this right here, just transform times transform times transform, which you know, if I don't care about scale, I can save a little bit of performance by only doing the rotation and location. So that was learned that was new for me. That was good. And I started digging into, what did I start digging into? Yeah, the VAT data caching. So cached anim bone transforms. So what I do for attachments, when you have vertex animated peoples, one thing you can do to get attachments with them, because they're not skeletal meshes anymore, so you don't have any sockets to actually attach to like you would typically. What you can do is you can actually vertex animate any of the attachments, but that means you have to go through the whole VAT flow, which is like you have to like do this like little editor widget thing over here. You have to bake the data, you have to populate the static map, all that stuff. It's kind of a pain, and it's a lot of very manual steps, and I don't want to have to do that for every single thing that I could ever want attached to my guys. And so what I decided to do was, I'm just going to cache every single bone transform for every frame of every animation for every entity that I have. So that I can just like constant time look up the location that the socket would be in during this animation in relation to the location of the actor or the entity. So that's what I do for attachments. Now, I don't know, maybe the astute observers have maybe the observers have noticed that whenever I start my game, there's this big like maybe like 5-second freeze whenever I click play. That's me caching all of those transforms for what is 33 animations. So here's my VAT data asset here. Now I don't need to cache it at runtime every single time. So what I'm planning to do is, a part of the VAT process, I am going to run my own code that caches it once, and that way when I click play on startup, it doesn't freeze for 5 seconds trying to cache every bone every time. Yeah, that's gonna be what I'm doing right now. I don't know if it's actually gonna make things faster. It might, because now they're no longer on, you know, these methods used to be on this like instant static mesh actor, which is now kind of like not doing a whole lot. So we'll see if this actually makes it faster or not. It's something I needed to do anyway, so I'm just gonna bite the bullet and do it. So I actually have all the code for it in place, I think. What I did was, so there's this editor utility widget here that comes with the plugin. And I picked through the graph, and this function right here. So this is the bake data function that gets called like when you click bake or whatever. Bacon. And I think this animation to texture is what I'll need to overwrite. Now it's a static function, so I was hoping I could just directly overwrite it. I can't. It's not even virtual. So I created my own little utils, here with my own animation to texture that just calls that one and then does some additional caching. And I also overrode the anim to texture data asset, which is this thing. I'll need to change that. Need to make a new one, which I'll do right now. So we're gonna call this data asset. Wait, why is it blue? My anim to texture data assets. Interesting. Why did that redirector pop up? Anyways, I'm gonna call this. What am I gonna call this? SKM ALS. I'll say VAT SKM ALS. There you go. That's gonna be empty. So we're gonna need to just copy a lot of things over. A lot of things are gonna need to be copied over. UV channel 10.1. Force power of 2. Precision 16 bits. Bone. Blah 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 blah. Put the textures in there. Root transform. I do nothing with. Sample rate 30. Give me all 33 animation sequences. Autoplay animation index 4. That all looks good. So now I just need, can I copy and paste this? Probably not. No. Okay. So now I think I have to redo the bacon. Well, I would have to anyway for the caching. So I need to find this. I probably override this, I think. Oh, that's my own. So we're gonna, can I create child from this menu, please? No, I cannot. Asset actions. Okay. Can I extend it? No, I can't. Son of a bitch. Watching this as an SDE 1 makes me regret not going to med school. Why is that? Welcome in, Yusuf. Hello. Good morning. Okay, so eye watching. Yes, very good. Very good. How the hell am I going to override this? Should I just edit it directly then? I mean, that's fine with me. And I wanted to maintain the existing. And I wanted to maintain the existing flow here. Now, data assets. You now need to be a my anim to texture data asset. Good. Good. Old built-in way. Old. Okay, I guess I'll just do that. Uh-oh. Fresh. As, I wish I could just change the cast thing there. Cast to my anim2 texture data assets. Yes. Okay, so I guess we need to plug the thingos in here. I forget what parts I need and need not to do here. Gilly, hello. I know I need to pass in the characters /vat. I think I just needs to be from the game dir, so game characters VATs. VAT baker fixing, extending. We are extending. Now, I don't think I have to put every animation in there again. I do need to click bake data though, I think. I think we have to put all the thingies in there. And then maybe just all the... I think it's gonna rebake the textures. Oh god, is it gonna mess everything up? Look at it go. Look at it go. Okay. Did it work? That is the question. I guess let's see. Do I have cached? Oh, I don't. They're not displayed here, so I guess I don't know if they're cached or not. Does my... It is edited. John Michael, thank you for the follow. Welcome. It does look like it saved things. Well, thank you for the sub. It does look like things have changed. That's good. That is good. I don't think I need this anymore. This is for my old thing. Yeah. We're not doing that anymore. Delete that. Force delete. Okay. I guess let's just play. Uh-oh. It's still doing it. Arkenth, welcome. Good morning. Hope the optimization is going well. It is just getting started. Oh, I need to replace the VAT data asset. Of course. Well, of course. That's not going to work. I don't think so. Okay, so I just need to wire that up into the entity data, of course. Of course. Could I be so foolish? How could I be so foolish? Now here's where I need to probably work on the inheritance a little bit here, because I could just change in one spot. I could. Oh dear. Some crazy desktop background. Yeah, it's just like the built-in. Okay, let me look at the data asset here. Did we actually do the thing? We did not. Okay. Well, Well, okay. Guess I'll break point. Time to start debugging. Okay, so we gotta like wire all this stuff back in. The data assets. Yeah, I don't know if I need the dir there or not. We'll see. Okay, that's still there. Cool. They're gonna bake. Okay. Success is true. We have NM sequences. Good. Okay, so they're getting added. I should probably have put these as U properties. Oh yeah, we can't visualize that one because it's like a nested map. Category. I think it was just info. Yeah, it's just info. Okay. We can at least show that one. See if that one's populated. Rebuild. Okay. So why wouldn't that be getting updated? Why wouldn't that be persisting? Because I feel like all they do is just update it or something. Is there something special you have to do to update a data asset and actually like persist the things? Write vectors to texture. Mark package dirty. Post edit change. Interesting. Yeah, they're not doing anything special other than that. Maybe I need to mark it dirty afterwards as well. Why is it mad at that? Expression result is not used. Okay, so we'll run live coding there. Get over there. Okay. I'm a total beginner. I've got no idea what you're doing, but I hope I get so good I'm able to someday. So what I'm doing, I can explain. I am kind of replacing some of my, well, I'm extending some vertex animated texture functionality. What is vertex animated texture? It's where you take your skeletal meshes and you change them into static meshes, which are a lot more efficient because they're static and they don't change. Skeletal meshes change and move around and stuff. But you take what would be normally like an actor in Unreal Engine or with a skeletal mesh, and you turn it into an instanced static mesh instance, which is very, very efficient. Now, usually static meshes can't move. How do you make them look like they're moving? Vertex animated texture. So what you do is you actually take the animations that would normally be playing on the skeletal mesh, making the skeletal mesh move each bone individually, you know, doing things, and you bake those into textures. And that looks like this. It looks like it's just a bunch of data. It's just a bunch of data. And you have a material that looks, you know, something like this, and this, and this. And what that does is it uses world position offset to essentially, it reads all the bone information, the bone rotations, the bone positions, bone weights, 3 different textures. It reads from those and it uses world position offset to deform and move around the static mesh to make it look like it's a skeletal mesh. And what that means, what you get from that is you're running your animations on the GPU, and it's like so cheap. It is so amazingly almost free to do that in comparison to how much it costs to not only run a skeletal mesh on the game thread, but also animate the skeletal mesh on the game thread. So I'm extending some of that functionality because one of the things I do is I cache, well, let me say why first. So attachments, right? With skeletal meshes, you can attach another component to the skeletal mesh at any one of the bones, and you can even create virtual sockets and stuff like that. So you have socketability with the skeletal mesh. You don't have that with a static mesh. So how can you get that? The only way I found other people doing it online was to actually send your attachments through this same process where you actually animate. You have to like move, you have to offset the pivot of the static mesh that you're wanting to attach such that it would be in the socket that it's desired in. Then you have to run this whole vertex animated texture flow to bake out the data for that positioning, for that attachment positioning. It's like so many manual steps. I don't want to do that for every single attachment, every single item that I could have in my game, right? So what I do instead is what I was doing was I was just caching every single bone transform for every single frame in every single animation, which is a lot. It's kind of a lot of data. Well, what that allows me to do is have a constant time complexity lookup of any bone location in any animation at any time. And before I was just doing that whenever the game started, but now I don't need to do that every day. Like if you look back at some of my old videos, or if you've seen them in the past, like whenever I clicked play, there's like a 5-second lag. And it's because it's caching it's like caching every bone transform for every frame for like 33 different animations. So yeah, I don't need to do that at runtime, right? I can just do that as a part of the data asset, and I can store it there. So that's what I'm doing right now. How do you go about optimizing an ECS? Do you just profile it, make improvements to the hot path, or is there prior art like data locality stuff? Yeah, all of the above. I've been rewriting it over the past several streams, so you can probably check my most recent VODs if you want to see some of the performance improvements I made. One I made last night off stream that I found out is that a transform is actually a non-trivial operation. Come to find out. So I was doing this right here where it was just transform times transform times transform, and I don't actually need the scale to be multiplied at all. I just need location and rotation. So I wrote this guy right here, and it's actually about 1.5 to 2 times faster because I don't need to take into account the scale of the transform. So yeah, things like that. I was working on the underlying architecture of the ECS system even farther back. So like maybe like, I don't know, 4 or 5 streams ago, I was working on the underlying architecture of the ECS system. Originally I was using U objects. That's obviously not very cache locality of me. So I switched to using structs. That was a big performance improvement. I was trying out command buffer. That had some issues. I was trying different things for, I was trying to like copy data for like async processes. That ended up being a lot. So now I'm just using mutexes. And I switched from using like entity data pools to doing like an archetypal approach, which is how most ECSs do it anyway. So Yeah, things like that. I'm throwing things on the background thread. I'm just making minor changes to code to see what like speeds up, what slows down. You know, I'm splitting apart my entity data bits into smaller pieces so that there can be a higher level of cache locality. Things like that. But now I'm also doing some vertex animate things. So I'm trying to do this because, wow, I'm thinking this might be a bit better. We'll see. For performance, that is. Oh, how I wish this would just... How I wish this would just remember all of the settings. Okay, so I'm going to bake data. Now in here I should see anim to vat index map. Okay, so bake data. Okay, it's probably caching right now. Okay. Okay, we have elements in there now. Okay, so file, we'll save all. If we play, are we good? Yay, we're good. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. Uh-oh. That don't look no good. Guys, I think I might have done it wrong. It's horrifying. Interesting. Okay, so one of the other things I did was I tried to offset. I tried to change the pivot of the skeletal mesh. Which I think may have messed up things. I thought if I just rebaked it would fix it. There's the skeletal mesh. Is there a specific performance target? No, just as much as I can get away with. My attachments are not attaching very well either. They're not actually changing along with the transform of the entity. Why is that? I mean, they definitely were before. Oh, I don't think I'm actually setting it. So I should just grab the transform data probably. Yeah, maybe I don't need this transform in there. I mean, depends on if I need that offset or not. If I need that offset, then maybe. So let's go ahead and change this to yeah, it's kind of like a so this will probably fix the attachments. It's not going to fix how wonky they look, but there you go. Now they're all attached. They're just sticking out of their side. Yeah, that looks comfortable. Okay, so oh god, and we're dealing with a lot of these like, dude, this gameplay tag map will never get cleaned up properly. I don't know what the deal is. Have you released any game solo? No, never released a game before. Okay, so for some reason, is it the inventory? Is it the inventory? I have to imagine it is. Where is it? Yes, F inventory data while destructing elements. The inventory component itself. So I think maybe let's go here. Let's do I'm gonna put a destructor on this. Oh, is it this, or is it on the component? Writer, please respond. We'll like manually clean this up. Okay, we'll see if that helps with that cleanup stage. Yeah, so doing a lot of things like asynchronously now. The goal is to kind of move a lot of this stuff onto the background thread, which it was before I started this refactor, but it was all U objects, so that was kind of cheating. And also my processor is like, I've already gotten like some pretty significant performance gains here. Like here was my first kind of set a sample. Here's some of my processors, like, you know, just looking at the velocity processor, which does like gravity velocity processing, as well as like scooching them along the ground, you know, interpolating along like a slide direction. So I was taking like max 60 milliseconds, average 25, median 24. And my latest, I got that down to 14, max 21. So a lot of the, and then like these ones are like crazy fast now. Like these are all sub 1 millisecond. Before, they were still, you know, pretty fast, but before, yeah, like 4 milliseconds here, 3 there, 1 there. Now they're all sub 1 millisecond. So yeah, I think splitting up some of these processors as well, it'll start, the performance gains will start to like be abstracted from what it was. But I think it'll be better for overall performance. It'll just be harder to tell because they're not going to be, it's not going to be a one-to-one comparison anymore. Yeah, some of these, you know, ISM processor are 13, 14 milliseconds, max 100 milliseconds. Now the ISM processor max is 8.3, average 3, you know. So we've got some really good performance gains already. And I'm going to parallel for loop them as well eventually. It's going to be like one of the last things I do. Because it's kind of hard, that also abstracts the performance because we're splitting a single processor across multiple frames at that point. Or not frames, threads, across multiple threads. Okay. So I kind of want to change the pivot back on this guy. What else would I need to change for that? I mean, I'm gonna guess that the skeletal mesh looks all fucked up. I forget why. I don't know if I can have this pivoted, which is annoying because my actor, what is it? NPC. Yeah, my NPC is rotated for like, yeah, it's rotated like -90, and I suppose that's like important for like the control input and stuff like that. What if I just didn't do that? Would that be fine? Okay, so let's change the pivot back. You transform edit pivot. I think I just need to go +90. Accept. Okay. I think it was +90. We'll see. I might have gone the wrong way. Which means I'll now need to go -180. The data asset, put that in there. Give me that. Okay. Bake it. I wonder what the size of one of these assets is. I wonder, can you see that on a data asset? I mean, you can do like a size map, I suppose, right? Hit me with the size map on this bad boy. 10 megabytes? Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Most of that is animations, actually. Okay, save all. Yeah, that looks better. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. No, it does not. Yeah, I think I need to. So I need to go minus 180 on the pivot for this guy now. Where'd he go? Okay, transform, edit, pivot, go minus 180. Accept. That's. Oh my god. Oh god, I'm just floundering around here, aren't I? Okay, I guess rebake that. How do they get the little status bars things to show up? How do they do that? There's something fancy and special they do? Oh, yeah. Interesting. They do. Okay. Neat. Keep up the hard work, man. Thank you. I will. I'll do that. Appreciate your support. Your verbal support. No, it's still fucked up. God damn it. Okay, hang on. Just stop. Let's just run one. Just give me one. Which way? You're completely backwards. You are completely backwards. Okay, so I just did negative 180 though. So if he's completely backwards. Let's just have it remake this the fucking static mesh for me. I think probably the static mesh and the skeletal mesh have to be aligned properly. I did negative 180. Accept. Save. Do I need to rebake? I don't know if I actually need to rebake. He is facing the right direction, question mark? Yeah, he does seem to be facing the right direction when he's walking. Where's my little asset here? Okay, keep going. Play. I think this is my previous state. Yeah. Okay. So I've massively fucked up my vat shit. Although the cache stuff is working properly though, so that's good at least. So that's what he's supposed to look like. Maybe I should redo this part. Okay. You look, good now? Question mark? Oh, I need to move you. Hang on. Cut. Can I cut? I cannot. Save. Cut. No. You can't like, okay, hang on. MIALS character. Yeah, so I need to change all the material slots here. That did not work. Oh, and I have to like enable nanite and all that stuff. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, let me just like focus on what direction he's facing. Yeah, they're facing a complete different way. I think. So if let me put that, I'm gonna put that pole in the background there. Okay, so he does seem like he seems 90 degrees off. So he needs to go to the right 90 degrees. So what is to the right? Like, it's negative 90 apparently. Okay, accept. File, save all, rebake it. No, actually, I want to give me a progress bar. I want to do a progress bar. That looked slick. What is this mapping thing for? What do we do with that? A mapping. I don't think that's important for the progress bar. Oh yeah, it is. They do update. Oh no. It's fine. Copy that. Copy that. Do I have to do log text or can I just do text? F text. What do you want? F text from string. Okay. Processing bone cache. Processing and bone cache. Okay, let me see if I make a nice little progress bar. Bake. Look at it. Oh, there's more. Okay. Huh. What happens afterwards right here? That makes it freeze. Okay, he looks good now. He's just going the wrong direction, which is why I changed the rotation to begin with. So, I wonder, like, so he's moving in the wrong direction. I kind of just want to like stick with hard coding it. Is every entity going to need to be rotated negative 90? And why is that? Let me search something. Unreal Engine. Why is every character rotated 90 degrees? Is that like a thing? Why is third person template rotated 90 degrees? Sure, give me that. So yeah, so it's like necessary. So I guess if I rotated the skeletal mesh as well. Yeah, why doesn't Unreal's mesh follow that rule? It's just because Unreal Engine has a different fucking coordinate system, isn't it? Oh, now you, just because of that, you're making my ECS slower. You're making it slower. Damn you, Tim Sweeney. Okay, so let's put all this back. And we're now no longer just gonna do, we need to do new transform here. Okay, so put that back, and then I need to add rotation, set rotation equal to get rotation minus 90.f. Well, I just need the Z, so let's do like an F. What did Tim Sweeney do? He made Unreal Engine use a coordinate system such that you have to rotate things 90 degrees. You have to rotate meshes 90 degrees when you import them into the engine. That's what he did. So I have to turn this into a quat. Oh, I hate quats. Keyboard am I using? I have a Corsair K95, but the sounds are from a virtual keyboard. With the same switches, though. Same switches. MX Blues. Okay, so I think that's the correct thingo to do there. Okay, so now can they go the correct direction now? Sir. I think I might have, do I need to add 90 degrees? Is it yaw? It's yaw. Oh, hang on, I did that completely wrong. How is he not how is he not more fucked up, actually? Is my question. Okay, so add entity ISM instance. ISM entity data, rotator, minus 90 yaw. What am I missing here? Oh, I'm sending in transform data. That's what I'm fucking missing there. That's why he wasn't more fucked up. Zinware, welcome in, first time chatter. What bottlenecks are you working on today? I was taking a peek at the... There we go, now he's moving and grooving. Okay, so... I was taking a peek at the attachment processor and the ISM processor and how all the animations work last night, and I decided to bite the bullet on refactoring my vertex animation flow to do some caching up front rather than every time I click play, because for attachments I cache every single bone transform in the skeletal mesh for every frame of every animation that's baked, and then that way I can do a constant time lookup. It's very efficient for deciding where, like when they're all like carrying around these maces, right? Like I can attach those to any bone now because of that. And if you notice in the past, if you've seen in the past, every time I click play, there's like a 5-second hitch, and that's me doing that caching. Now I'm just going to do that when I bake the animations. I don't need to do that every single time I click play. So I was just doing that. Grab a quick trace here. Do they look a little weird? Do they look a little weird? I thought they looked like a little skinny. I mean, I guess they're fine. I guess they're fine. What is with this? Are they rotating really fast? Do you guys see this? It looks like it's like blinking, but they're like rotating very fast. Okay, let's stop that trace. What do we got? Any ranged projectile weapons? Yes. Yes, there are. What are some of these hitches from? Just, yeah, some like, yeah, oh yeah, just some editor stuff. Just some editor stuff. Okay, let's compare to where we were. And this is my latest like full profile. Attachment processor, max 6 milliseconds, average 2.4, median 4. Now we're down to max, still 6, 5.9. Average is 1.7 though. And median is 2.8. So we've gotten some savings there. ISM, 8.3. Max, average, 3.6, 3.5. So ISM now about the same. About the same still. Unfortunate. Attachment processor got better though. Let's dig into just like a random frame here. I just want to take a peek. So I'm still running the attachment processor and ISM processor on the game thread. Everything else background thread. So, and these can, I believe, I can do some stuff to run them on the background thread. What I can't do is update an instance transform on the background thread. That all needs to happen on the game thread. And so another thing I need to do I can cut this tickable game objects time down a little bit too, because there's some processors that use tick that I should change to doing a for each. Change to doing a processor, like an entity system for each. Oh, the timers. I have 3.7 milliseconds of timers happening. And these are from, like, every single one of those entities had an ability system component. And every single one of those entities has a food and health value that decrement on a timer. So there was 2,000 of them doing that. So yeah, there's just these frames where there's just like all these timers getting triggered. And this is something I'm going to need to override and run on the background thread, I think. Because I don't think I need that to run on the game thread. I don't think I need that. Right? Like, did the food and sleep values need to be, like, fully updated at all times? No, I don't think so. Moving tag subsystem could change as well. I guess that's the biggest offender. The rest of them are quite fast. So some improvement we could probably save, half a millisecond there every frame. Now this big gap, I don't know what this gap is right here. I don't know. It used to be there on most frames. Yeah, the entity chunk processor query, I need to speed up quite a bit as well. That is, yeah. Now this is like the worst it'll ever be though, because like I'm pretty sure all those entities are in a single chunk, or at least some local chunks. Because I separate all the entities into a grid, a 3D grid, So that way, when I do like my AoE abilities, I don't need to iterate over every single entity to figure out if they're in the AoE or not, because they don't have collision on them at all. So I have to use this chunk processor to split them up into, it's pretty much a bounding volume hierarchy. That way I only need to iterate over the local ones. And right now they're all local ones. So, and this is just for like the, this is the interaction trace. That happens every frame for the player. And this is, like I said, this is probably the worst it'll get with 2,000 things all in one place. Like that's probably the worst it'll ever be. Like what I'm going for is simulating the whole world. So most of them won't even be instant static meshes. I'm actually curious. Let's run this, and I'm just gonna run like really far away. Or actually, let me grab the spawner and just like move that super far away. So yeah, we're spawn. I can't even. They're too far away to even see. So they're not even going to be ISMs. Yeah. So we got 60 FPS right here. At these scales of number, 0.1 average change is, I think, actually significant. Maybe more obvious with a unit that doesn't have the decimal, but don't actually change your units, just know it. Okay, let me look at that. Hello? Okay, we're like loading. There we go. Yeah, so look at the subsystem. When there's no ISMs, look how fast they fucking run. Now the attachment, why would the attachment processor need to be doing things? Let's denote these differently. So yeah, this should be like skipping everything. And actually what I should do is maybe even remove the ISM entity data altogether. That could be a refactor that I do. Yeah, because that's something that exists completely. Yeah, so what we could do is actually remove that, and then that would prevent this altogether. Okay. I think I can get rid of this inner one there. So that one was actually fast. Now this other one I need to do some things. Attach data, avatar data. Oh yeah, I'm getting the avatar data. Yeah, so we need to do this on the outside. So that was a little unperformant there. A little unperformant up there. Okay. What is this? Is it a video game of something else? I'm not sure what you mean by of something else, but it is a video game that I am working on, yes. Yeah, I'm working on an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural terrain and AI-generated quests. Okay, so I think that will run a bit better. And I think we're in a good spot, so I want to commit this too. So let's commit this, and I want to go back and delete everything, basically. On the, was it the ISM subsystem that I need? No, it's on the instant static mesh actor. So delete all that. Delete that, delete that. And there's more. There is more. Some of these things I don't need at all. Hang on, let's clean up a bit. Clean up after ourselves. Don't need the movement blend space. Do we need this? Okay, the only place it's used is in the redirectors. Movement blend space, I'm pretty sure I can delete that. Yeah, okay. Okay. What was all those timeline looking things? That was Unreal Insights. That's how you performance profile the game. So that was showing me all the timings of all the functions and stuff that I'm calling. Allows me to tell what is running fast and slow. Okay, and play rate, that's not used anymore. Is that the only usage? Yes, okay, so we can delete that. Entity subsystem. That's the only usage, so we can delete that. So tick, we can actually delete the tick here. Just delete tick. You can also delete begin play as well. Okay, so this is getting a lot cleaner. Can't ever tick. False. False. Blend filter, I think I can delete that as well, yeah. Entity map, I think I need that still. Get entity by instance, is that used? No, okay, so we can return that. Okay. Where's remove entity instance called from? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's on the subsystem. Is there anything I need to clean up on the subsystem? Probably that critical. Well, I guess we're using that. Okay. ISM actor. We're using that. Attachment instances data. We're not using that anymore. No. Okay. Okay. ISMs obviously is going to be used. Yes. Somebody that's doing something interesting finally. Is this a fully custom ECS? It is. It is. Wrote it myself. Yeah. So I tried using Mass, which is the built-in Unreal Engine one, but I found it incredibly difficult to work with. So in typical me fashion, I was like, I'll write my own. And yeah. I've had it for a while actually, but I wrote it with like U objects, which is not what you're supposed to do for ECS systems. I did that just to like make it easy to work with, and it was easy to work with. But I was leaving a lot of performance on the table, so now I'm going back and refactoring it to do it like the right way. Now the performance is just getting better and better. Okay, so that compiled. Let's go ahead and commit this. So this is going to be refactor anim bone cache to that asset. Small optimizations on ISM and attachment processors. Okay, commit that. Send it, ship it. Okay, I can maybe show the game off a little bit too. Maybe talk about the game. I'm making an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural destructible procedural terrain, however you want to say that, and AI generated quests. And why I need the ECS system is I want to run the whole world, and the world I have is quite large. I'll show you here in a second. It's all procedural. It could technically be infinite, but if I want to run the whole world at all times, like I need to put a cap on it for that reason. So for that reason, I'm out. But yeah, I want like the world to always be running. And you know, if you build a colony in one place and you send some guys out to chop wood, and then you run over to another place, like on the other side of the world, I still want your colony to be running and pathfinding based on everything that you've put there. Here's some procedural terrain. There it goes. It's kind of a boring seed. We'll explore some more. And I will have more biomes eventually. Right now I only have like 2 different actual biomes and maybe like 4 to 5 different terrain noises. I do have underground caves though. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So here's all the underground caves and stuff. Eventually I'll have like ore and stuff spawn down here that you need to go, you know, mine. Yeah, here's the world. Actually, oh yeah, we're spawning entities now. I forgot we turned that on. So yeah, we've got some entities here. Oh lord, he coming. Okay, sir, you're supposed to be frozen, sir. Okay, he broke. Uh-oh. We're having issues here. This is good. This is good. I am indeed getting into a bunch of garbage collection related issues. I just gotta narrow those down though, you know. Why is this saying, why am I on I3? Why is I equal to 3? That doesn't make any sense. How is that even fucking possible? What? Oh, because this is async. So I'm guessing one got moved. An entity got moved. So it's actually kind of crazy I didn't hit a threading issue there. I would have expected a thread issue. So that it's good that I didn't hit that. Now the target processor is my absolute worst processor that I need to just take an absolute jackhammer to. Okay, so let me peek in the for each async here. So at what point do we kick it off to the background thread? Okay, yeah. So we calculate all the archetypes and stuff first. So I probably need to check if this is even a valid... So it happened in between these 2 lines, I guess. So I guess on my for each asyncs, I need to check if the entities are still valid. But in that case, couldn't the data be... Couldn't the data have changed? So what I was doing was I was copying all of the entity data before kicking it off to the background thread, but that copy was like so expensive. It was so expensive. Lowest I could get it down to when I did like everything I could basically. You know, all the move semantics and parallel processing I could do, I got it down to like 1.5 milliseconds per frame. But like that just doesn't scale well. You know what I mean? Like, it's like every piece of entity data I add increases that number. Every you know, I go to, that was only 2K entities, so 10K entities, that's way too much. You know, I just couldn't hack it. This is kind of interesting. Like, I'm a software developer and watching you create a game is interesting. Keep it up, brother. Thank you, man. Yeah, glad you like it. If you're a software developer, you should try out game dev. It's a lot of fun. Even if you don't have any like you know, desire to release a game or anything, it's just a fun little side project to work on. Okay, so what do I want to do about this? What do I want to do about this? So it's like I could have checked if this was a valid entity, like on this line, but it would have been. Because we didn't crash on the entity line. We crashed on... crashed on the... So it's like I have to check it for each one. So I have to do something like is valid index. Wait, what? Is that not a function? Oh, because I have to do data dot is valid index, yeah. Okay, so I wonder what if I should do something like T component array on the operator accessor. Now I can't do this because it's returning by ref. So what do I fucking do here, man? What do I do here? T, empty copy. Not empty copy, just empty. I can't return that. I don't think this compiles. I don't think that compiles. Oh, I'll need to do the same here as well. Because I'm returning by ref here is the problem. And I don't want to return by copy because that's just... Or I don't want to return by value because that's performing an unnecessary copy, and then that'll be less performant. But I guess for the async stuff, it doesn't matter. Yeah, maybe for the async stuff, I should have an operator here that gets a copy. That will increase their time, but it'll be safe. Dude, if this compiles, I'm gonna shit my pants. Is it gonna compile? That's so crazy. Okay, is this actually gonna work at runtime then? I want to like check all my processors after that, because that is adding a bit of overhead. So we'll see. I don't know how much overhead that would actually cause though. That should be pretty data locality. That should be pretty good for that. Cache locality, whatever. Okay. So I guess let's go back to the test level real quick. Okay, the attachments aren't working. What the fuck? I thought I had those working. Okay. Attachments aren't working. Okay, get everything spawned. There we go. Yeah, let's profile. Just gonna let this soak for a little bit. Yeah, I kind of want to start developing a game as a side project, just out of interest, like a 2D pixel art game, but I have no idea how to start and where to start from. Just pick an engine and start learning. Unreal Engine, Unity, Godot, those are like the three popular ones. If you're doing 2D stuff, Unity or Godot would be better. Unreal Engine does not exactly cater to 2D stuff. You can make a 2D game in Unreal Engine, but... Okay, so we got a little bit of info there. Okay, so let's compare this to one of our previous ones. For each process. Let's see here. Okay, so we're just gonna compare velocity previously. Oof, that was rough. That was rough. Okay, so it actually got a little faster. What? Is this, did I grab the right ones? Okay, interesting. Target processor, we don't talk about target processor. State tree, 13, 12. 12. Did it get... There's no way that change specifically made it faster. Move to 1918. 17... Wait, what the fuck? Did I grab the right one? Not, that was at 9:18. This is at 9:34. Yeah. Why? How did it get faster? That's not. That doesn't make no sense. Thought it might feel good to hear you stop me from doom scrolling, and now you're on my second screen. Love how you're talking through the problems. Very interesting. Hey, you're very welcome. More than happy to save you from the depths of YouTube Shorts, and thank you for saving me from the depths of YouTube Shorts as well. I also have the horizontal stream as well. There's a horizontal stream if you go to my profile, if you prefer that. Okay, so I guess what I'm hearing then is that did not cause an issue. Now, I guess it maybe will cause an issue once we reach that else on the ternary. We'll see. We'll see if it. I don't know. Yeah, we'll fucking see. I guess we'll just see. Oh yeah, because we can't use that as a reference. That was a bad one because we were doing basically all non-ISMs. That's why that was so different. Okay. That one's kind of... Let's do this one. Okay. What's happening here? We're just doing some performance comparisons. We're doing some performance optimizations right now. That's what we're looking at. Give me that. Okay. Okay, so now this should be a better comparison. Velocity 27, 26. Okay, velocity is just not good. Yeah, it was actually faster. Move to 18, 17. It's actually slightly faster across the board. Wow. Okay. 3.6, 3.4 on ISM. Yeah, it's like ever so slightly faster. That might just be a difference in my computer though. Like, okay, so that change was fine. Let's go back and fix the attachments. Why are the attachments not attaching? Pray tell. Why are they not attaching to the right spots? So we are just using the ISM entity data transform. That should be correct. Give me ISM processor 2. Yeah, I am setting the rotation. So why are you not... It makes me think the caching isn't correct here. The instance data transform, cached anim bone transforms. I mean, I copied over directly. It was working at one point as well. I think probably the change. What do I need to pass in here? Entity transform. Okay, let me go back to just spawning. Let me look here. Yeah, I guess maybe I don't need 2000. I don't need 2000 to check this. They're not even animating, it seems like. Yeah, okay, so what's the deal? What would have caused that? Just give me a breakpoint here. Just give me one entity as well. We don't need 1,000. 2,000 rather. Cached anim bone transforms is empty. Okay. Well, that'll do it. Is the other one's not though. Yeah, that one's not empty. Okay, so we're not caching correctly. Why? Find or add. I mean, this is, I directly copied this code and then just plugged in the anim bone transforms. Okay, so let me do this. I just will need to rebake things and see what happened. Let's rebake it, rebake it. I'm not creating the assets, so maybe I don't need the directory path. Let's just try to bake here and see what happens. Yeah, so I put that breakpoint there, so we'll be able to inspect the cache after we're done here. Data assets, cached anim bone transforms. It's there. Maybe it just didn't save properly? Save. Yeah, I got the anim. It's weird that the anim to vat index map stayed populated, but the cache did not. Yeah, okay, so there it is. I'm gonna shut down the editor properly, and then we'll restart. Is that data empty? Yeah, it seems like that was what was the case. Is that some utils for baking vertex anim data? Yeah, so that comes like with, does it come with the plugin? I forget if that comes with the plugin or if that was like a community thing. But yeah, it was essentially, yeah, some utils for baking. Okay, so I guess let's run that again. Did that like save and persist properly? No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Why? Why does this one persist? Is it because it's a U property? That's annoying because I can't make this a U property. I think maybe I need to override the serialize method on it. Because this is a tmap of tmap to tarray. So if I put a U property on it, it's going to complain. Let me just do a quick search. Unreal Engine data asset not saving a non-U property. Save custom data asset, which is no U property. That sounds similar. Can be with data saving. Yeah, so I wonder if I could just... I wonder if I could just override the serialize method and do it myself. I could do a struct though. That might be the easier way to get this working. I would need two different structs. That's the thing. Oh, that would be so annoying. I guess if I just override the operator, the accessor operator, then I wouldn't need to change any of the code. Oh, it'd be so ugly. Or I could just serialize it myself. Should I do some manual serialization? I don't even know if that would work though, that's the thing. Is there, hang on, let me just dig into primary data asset. Is there a serialized, there is a serialized method, so I could override that. Super serialize. I'm super serial. So, I mean, it just calls the U object serialize. I assume this is how the data asset saves its data. Has to be, right? What other way could it possibly work? Like, what even is a fucking data asset? Like, it doesn't... I thought there would be more in here. That's... Oh, that's data asset. Here's primary data asset. Okay. So there's, like, pre-save. Update asset bundle data. Initialize assets... Asset bundles from data. This is pre-save, right? Okay, this is doing, yeah, this is doing some stuff here. It's like iterating over the properties and getting their values. What are we doing with it? Found ref. That was in pre-save. Refresh asset data. Post load. Update bundle asset. So that's actually the function that probably does it. Update asset bundle data. Lucky L, thanks for the sub, my dude. Welcome in. Appreciate that. And Amber, you as well. Appreciate the subs, guys. Oh my gosh. Doggy. Oh, doggy. Thank you for the sub. I feel like that's probably all three of those happening at once is probably an issue with my software. I don't think that actually happened like that. Okay, so asset bundle data. What's the subject today, class? We're caching skeletal mesh bone transforms for every frame in every animation on our vertex animated entities. And we're trying to persist that in a data asset, but I guess data assets don't like non-U properties. Let's just try that. I don't know that I want to go through like doing the serialization if it's not going to work. I don't know what's more difficult, serializing a T-map of array or just creating the nested structs that I don't need to use. Where did my class go? Go back. Okay, so let's create some U structs then. So this is F transforms array U property. An array of transforms. Let's say, and then we're going to return F transform ref operator, yeah, and then do the same for const ref as well. Okay, so we got that one. Replace that here. Create another one, and this is going to be map of anim sequence asset name to a map of anim frame. Okay, so this is anim frame to bone array. F anim frame bone transforms. Tmap, U property of tmap in32 F transforms array. And so I need, what do I call here? What's the function I call here? For this, find or add? No. Yes, I do need a find or add. Okay, so we want a pointer of f transforms array pointer find or add. Appreciate the sub. Welcome in. Game development or web development? Game development. Game dev. And so this is going to be int32 frame index. And then transforms dot find or add. I guess which we would need to find or add. Yeah, I mean, I think that works actually. So return. Not convert f transforms array to return type. Wait. Oh yeah, it returns by ref. It returns by ref for sure. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so then we go here. Anim frame bone transforms. And I guess maybe I can't. Can I just not even use? I can't even use a type def either. Okay. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. We have to do this. Okay. Okay, so we also need find. We need on there as well. This one needs to be, this is tmap to tarray. Change, actually just change this to fucking auto. Change that to auto. Change this to auto as well. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Bone transforms. No. What am I doing here? Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's make these. 32 num. Set num, so this will be void and then insert. Transform and then so just forward that to transforms. There you go. Does that return anything? Size type? Okay, no, we're fine. Okay, so that one's all good, and then we need a find on anim frame to bone array. So yeah, we just need a find here. F transforms array find, and this is going to be frame index and a frame. Yes, okay. Const. Is that right? Or no, this needs to be a const function. Yeah, that makes more sense. Bone array is valid index. Okay, we need that one too. Bool. AI already knows. Love that. Love that for me. Okay, we're all set, I think. What are you doing? Oh, it needs to be const. Okay. Okay. All right, let's rebuild that and see if it, I guess we can do visible anywhere now as well. So that's going to be, we're never going to want to actually look at that, but we can see if it's populated easily. Okay, so rebuild that. Can you explain the game development path? Can I do game development by JavaScript? I mean, you can technically, you can create a game engine with whatever you want, right? I wouldn't recommend it, and I certainly wouldn't recommend it with JavaScript, but like you could technically use the HTML canvas and JavaScript to, like, you could do that, and you might learn quite a bit by doing so. Although that's not a very realistic, like, you know, if you're trying to make like a super, a modern game, that wouldn't be the right way to do it. And Hassad, thanks for the follow over on Twitch. Appreciate that. Welcome in. Yeah, I would, if you're trying to get into game development, I would pick one of the three big engines, Unreal Engine, Unity, or Godot. Unity would be my last choice, personally. So yeah, I can see cached anim bone transforms is completely empty. So let's try to rebake those. Bake. If I want to learn game dev, is there any prerequisites? I mean, you'll just kind of discover those as you go. There are a lot of things you will need to learn, but it's not like a prerequisite. It's just kind of part of the journey. Okay, save. I see my cached anim bone transforms. I'm going to close the engine, and then I'm going to restart. And we'll see if that persisted this time in a U object. It did. Okay, so yeah, I learned something new today. I learned something new. If you expect something to be saved on a data asset, it needs to be a U property. So we fixed that issue. We fixed that issue. Let's commit this. This is going to be fix. Let's not commit the archetype utils one. Fix non-U property on data asset not being saved. Okay. Okay. Let's just run 2000 real quick just to see it all working. Okay, wait for them all to spawn. Okay, and they're all spawned. Okay, yeah, all those attachments look correct. Okay. Let's take a peek at the world here. 666, 667. We are on seed 667. So for those who are maybe first-time watchers here, I'm working on an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural destructible terrain and AI-generated quests. So here is just one small section of the world. I'll show it off here for a little bit. We're also going to be spawning entities in the world now. Turn that back on. So here's me in the world. Here is the world map. So every pixel on here is a terrain chunk. That's Unity, right? No, it is Unreal Engine. So every pixel on here is a terrain chunk. And every like zone is a different color here. And so each of these zones have like different names that you can see up at the top as I hover over them. So this is Red Dragon Crag, Bitterroot Forest, Twilight Bog, Intwood Forest, Obsidian Rift, Stormwatch Plateau. And so like each of these are like, hopefully will be pretty flavorful zones with different biomes and stuff like that. So if I zoom out, there's a terrain chunk. There's a terrain chunk. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Oh yeah, the fourth one is just like too tall. Okay, so we're going about four terrain chunk radius, so about about this big. About this big is what's generated right now. So the whole world is quite large. I am going to try and run the entire world if I can. If I can. Where are my entities at? Hey yo. Where are my entities at? There's some. There's a guy over there. Okay. Now are you stuck? Please don't say you're stuck. Please move. Please move. Oh no. I thought I fixed this issue. So he's moving. Is it just the enemies that are stuck? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, so hang on. I gotta stop. So we need the colonist. I know. I fixed this yesterday, but only for one of the state trees. I need to fix it here. So we need to actually Return. Wait, no, I did return failed there. Wait, no. What's happening? Oh, no. Why are you broken? Why couldn't you move? Where are you going to release it when it comes out? I have no idea. Probably Steam, but pretty far away from that, so I'm not even thinking about it. I thought I fixed this by changing the state tree to here. Is that not the case? I'm gonna spawn again. Let's run it back. Run it back. Let me take a closer look at some of those entities. Maybe we'll run the vlogger here. Uh-oh. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Okay. Where are my entities at? Where are they at? Okay, so he moved. Hey, is this C#? No, it is C++. Okay, so are you guys... He's definitely stuck. If you tried cursor Claude... God, so many people have asked me that. I am not a vibe coder. I do use it sometimes. It is not primarily... I don't need it for most things. So I don't use it. Oh, I didn't even look at the random root state tree. So yeah, I think I might have been looking at the wrong one. No, that returns failed as well. Okay. 0 to 10. Yeah, so I have dynamic tree chopping. So wherever the axe connects, it actually deforms the tree at runtime. So, and you'll eventually chop through. So yeah, you can chop through there. I got some wood, got 7 wood there. And then you can continue chopping the tree. And so yeah, the environment will work the same way, the rest of it as well. The destructible terrain doesn't work super well right now, but it does, it's proof of concept. So yeah, there's the terrain can get deformed at runtime. It's just not, doesn't look good and it's not super useful at all, so. I know it's game dev, but what stacks is Unreal Engine. Break rocks, sort of you do I'm not sure what Rust is capable of. I've never played Rust before. Don't know exactly what you're doing, but I will watch the stream in hopes of getting to learn something useful. I appreciate that. Oh god, the tree trunk got like stuck in the other tree. There we go. Yeah, get that tree trunk out of here. Wait, did it rebuild the tree? I think it might have. Either that or there was 2 trees. Interesting. Anyways, let's figure out why my entities are stuck. So the colonists seem to be moving fine, but the enemies don't. They seem to get stuck. Okay, so which entity are you here? You are entity 29. So let's run the vlogger and see what your state is here. And also see how many entities we have. We have almost 1,000 entities. Basically 1,000 entities. We said you were 29. Okay. 29. Yep, I see you there. What are you, what state are you stuck on? He's doing a wander move to. So he's just like never getting to his destination. It says he's within acceptance radius. What's your move to data? What else can I look at here? Input velocity is 0. Within acceptance radius is true. So did you just not update the state tree properly? Is that what's happening? You should. Oh, I wonder, are you not set to tick on move? Is that... Yeah, you don't have a tick there. You do. Okay, that's probably the issue. So just, he got to his destination, but he never updated. Is there anything else I could do other than tick? I probably just need to add that tick back in there. I think that's it. That way the state tree is like authoritative. And I don't need to like edit the state tree from outside of it. So tick state tree there. Do I need to return failed or succeeded? I don't know. So tick every 1 second, basically. Is that what we do here? Yeah, tick every 1 second. Return failed, sure. Clear. Okay, let's run it back. Should we grab a new seed as well? 667, 668. We're using multi-threading. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's mostly on the background thread now. That's all ocean. That was a bad seed. 669. There's a nice looking seed. There's a nice one. A nice one. Respawn in a cave. That's neat. Wow. Just wait for everything to spawn here. Oh, hello. Can you move now? Yeah, he's moving. He's moving and grooving. So that's probably what broke his combat a second ago. Now your move speed, yeah, so you should be frozen right there, and he's not. Colony, thank you for the sub, my dude. Welcome in. Willkommen, mein Freund. Okay, so let me see. What do I want to see here? I need to check the move settings. Is the game yours? Yes. Yes, this is my game. Where do I do that? Where do I do this at? Velocity processor, I think. Now this, yeah. So like basically right here. Movement info. Get moved into oh yeah, I commented all of it out. Okay, yeah, so that's why. Yeah, so this is where I probably need to get into just, I think I'm going to override gas. Is that my next journey? Is that my next journey? I need to do like kind of an audit of all the U objects, all the U object pointers I have in my entity system right now. Because pointers are not very cache locality, not very processor CPU cache locality. So it means like the pointer is pointing just to some arbitrary location in memory, which could be physically far away. So it would be nice to just convert everything to entity data, but that means I have to kind of rewrite all of my components. And the ability system component is a big one. It's a big one. It's like the brains of my entire combat, basically. And there are a lot of U objects on it. So that's gonna be a big refactor. But it will, because like combat is my biggest bottleneck right now. I could only get like 200 entities in combat before dropping to like 20 FPS. So, yeah. So, yeah. And I know I also have like an inventory component, equipment component. Those are both U objects. I should probably change them to just structs and just create like a component wrapper for it. So I need to change all of my components, all of my U objects to basically just be wrappers around structs. The structs will be what I use in the ECS system. I need to rewrite gas entirely. I need to overwrite everything. Prismatica, welcome in, my dude. How's it going? Just joined. What's the combat bottleneck from? Essentially just gas. I mean, we can maybe show. I can maybe show it. Let's see if I can. We'll go to the test level. Entity spawner. Take that down to like 100. Let's add another spawn def in here for the enemy warrior archetype. Now let's go in here and change their aggro. Can I minimize all? Where is faction? There we go. So aggro towards other factions. We're going to initiate attack. What happens? Oh dear. immediate assertion triggered. Can we skip? Oh boy. Oh dear. Yeah. So that's gonna happen. State tree instance data. Why are we resetting it here? That's actually running pretty well. I mean, not all of them are in combat though. That's the problem. I think it's just the logic that's set, like like gas, a lot of it needs to happen on the game thread. And so like, I mean, we could just, let me take a quick trace here while this is happening. Like some of them are stuck. So yeah, combat's not happening effectively right now. We'll just take a peek, but it's just like literally a post gameplay effect execute takes like 100 microseconds or something, and like if you times that by 1,000, it doesn't scale very well, right? I don't know, it's probably maybe kind of hard to tell here. Yeah, I don't know. There weren't the combat was kind of broken there. Like here we go. So like timers and stuff. So you can see this post gameplay effect execute right here is 600 microseconds. Like if you have 200 of those, like 200 times 600 microseconds is what? Like 200 times 600, 120 microseconds. So divided by 1,000. Is that 120 milliseconds? And like that's just like that's a melee auto attack ability, post gameplay effect execute. And like they all have like health and sleep values that decrement on a timer as well. So even when they're not in combat, like that already takes up quite a bit. So if we could just go to, we run like 2,000. We'll run like 2,000 and we can start to see the timers running on the game thread is also like an issue. So they're all spawning right now, so wait for them to get done spawning. Let's trace for a second here. Get me a little sample. Give me a little testy test. Okay. So probably on these like spikier frames, like a lot of the timers got finished. Yeah, like this entire, I had 10 milliseconds of timers. Like look at all this like activate effects from like mana regen, health regen. Some are just like random post gameplay effect execute. And this is all just from like food and sleep values and regen health and stuff like that, you know. It's just like, yeah, this doesn't scale. Now, if I could run this on the background thread, now we're cooking, you know, now we're cooking, but it doesn't like that. And furthermore, like, you know, every single one of those entities had an ability system component attached to them in a roundabout way. So using the pointers within that system does not scale very well. Like that's not, at that point, we're basically not doing ECS anymore because we're chasing so many pointers. How long are you made this since? I've been working on this for almost 3 years now. This is what game design looks like. This is what game dev looks like. Give the Houdini crowd system a shot. I'm going to go ahead and I'm not sure what the capabilities are of that, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that it doesn't support what I need it for. And I've already invested a good amount of time into this. And the reason I did this was for flexibility. So I'd rather stick with my own system here. Yeah, I was doing like I had built like an ECS, like my prior implementation was just using U objects for the entity data, and it made running things on background threads really nice and easy. But I can show you some of the performance changes. So here's my like old like with U objects benchmarks here for my processors, right? So just to pick a few, like velocity, this is like my velocity, gravity, nav movement kind of thing. Max 60 milliseconds, average 25. Then for my latest full profile, that's all the way down to 21 max, 14 average. The state tree, running the state tree, max was 118, average 14. And that's down to max 222, average 7. So these are like pretty drastic improvements. You know, processing my instant static mesh vertex animated entities is down to 3.6, where previously it was 14 milliseconds. So we've already made some pretty considerable performance improvements. And even these ones right here, like these ones are pretty quick. LOD 4 milliseconds, representation processor 3, chunk 1.2. But now look how fast they are. They're literally sub millisecond. Like the representation processor is like 0.06 milliseconds. So these ones are just like completely trivial now. Completely trivial. Attachment processor, median 4 for the attachment processor, whereas before 7.8. So it's like some of these are just like 2x improvement. The target processor, we don't talk about the target processor. The median millisecond, it took 8 seconds to run for 2,000 entities before. Now it only takes 2 seconds to run, which is terrible, but we need to do some more work there, basically. We need to do some more work there. And the reason that one's so bad is because it's doing like a nested, it's like this is the one processor that needs to consider other entities within its looping. It's like for each entity is each other entity within radius and has the correct aggro for me to go attack him or not attack him, basically. So I'm going to need to do something a little different for that one. I have it set up, but it'll need to change. It'll need to change. And part of that is just like, we can take a look at that now. Part of that is, you know, using U objects and stuff for like ability system component and whatnot. Hey, the super chat. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for the support, my dude. Thanks for the support. Yeah, happy to go into any more detail on any of these things. But the target processor, so usually this would have to iterate over every single other entity in the world, but what I do is I chunk my entities. We're a very pro chunk stream here. And so all my entities are in a 3D grid. So that way, when I use like an AoE ability, or when they need to consider, you know, targets, they only check their local chunks for entities within a certain radius, right? So I don't need to iterate over every single one and check if it's within the radius, you know? I only need to check over the local ones. But for that example, like all those entities were in the local chunks. So it was basically iterating over every entity. So that's like the worst it'll get, basically. Like 2,000 entities all in within a local chunk, like that's probably as bad as it, like my world is going to be pretty spread out, so it's not like, I don't think there will ever be combat, like a single instance of combat with like even 200 entities, and I don't think there's ever going to be 2,000 within a single location, but it's going to be more spread out than that. But there may be 200 entities in combat, but just like really far away, you know, in the world. I think I might do sort of hybrid, like things that need to be updated frequently on mass, location, so you know if out-of-scope entities nearby interact, but if it's an ECS. For general attribute-related stuff, health, hunger, I was hoping to get away with a U-objects-based system on a tick list cycle thingo. Yeah, I know you're a big fan of the thingos, and that's become a part of my vernacular now as well after watching your videos. That and skeletal. The skeletal mesh. Every time I wake up, I see you streaming. It feels like you're always streaming from my POV. Yeah, I mean, I try to stream frequently. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy game dev as well. Yeah, I think I need a better tick system as well. Like the tick manager or the timer manager, yeah, it doesn't seem like it's scalable. So maybe I could do something similar to what you're saying. Create like a, you know, a cycle thing where we can just, maybe there is a timer entity data where we can just check the time on the process loop. That would be a pretty tight processor. So that would probably be able to run that on the game thread pretty well. You'd even look into some octree stuff to subdivide denser chunks. Maybe. I mean, I just don't think that that's ever going to be a concern, really. I mean, 2,000 entities in a single location. I don't think you're ever going to be able to get there. I'm going for a smaller scale colony sim, like RimWorld, so like, I don't know, like even the biggest colonies in RimWorld are like, what, 20 pawns, like 20, 30 pawns. And then maybe you get raided by another 20, 30, so it's like, you know, maybe 100, 200 within a you know, local area. And I can always just split the chunks smaller, right? I can always just change the bounding volume hierarchy, like resolution as well. So I don't know that an octree would be super necessary. But yeah, here's the target processor, and why is it so bad? So this is considering aggro tables as well. So it's like all of this is like super dependent on the ability system component. I saw a character in your game today. Is it something new you added? No. Not sure what you're talking about. Yeah, so we call the entity chunk processor, which has all the chunks, and we perform an entity query on it. Now, this entity query is doing like these ad hoc entity data lookups, like this right here. So this is not good that I'm doing this, because this means we are now outside of the cache locality entity ECS thing. Because now I'm just doing an ad hoc data lookup, and this is probably like This is the one thing that I need to go through and change here. And I don't know really, I need to come up with a better way to handle optional data for a processor. Like I need a way for the processor to get a list of data that is optional, that it doesn't necessarily require to run. And I guess maybe there's just gonna be I guess I could just do multiple loops, like multiple for eaches. Yeah, maybe that would actually work. And just make sure I call the same underlying function. So it's like, yeah. Okay, yeah, I think I know what I could do there. I think you did something similar to Houdini crowd system in UE5, bro. That is awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure what the Houdini crowd system does, but like I know mass entity has a crowd system, and it's just not like, all it is for crowds. Like you can't do arbitrary gameplay logic with it, or like you could, but you had to write it all yourself anyway. And working with mass was just like a massive pain in the ass. Maybe that's why they call it that. Ah, Tim Sweeney, you little prankster. So I have a feeling like, yeah, maybe the Houdini crowd system or whatever can render a bunch of entities as a crowd, but like they just kind of wander around and do nothing, which I know is probably what it looked like was happening there. But these actually have like full-fledged gameplay logic and stuff on them. So is that JavaScript? No, it's not fucking JavaScript. Stop that. It's not okay. It's not okay that you thought this was JavaScript. This looks nothing like JavaScript. The .cpp files are not JavaScript files. No, contrary to popular belief. What profiling debugging tools do you use? Just Unreal Insights, basically. Can someone make a complex game like this using the visual scripting in UE5? I mean, you could make games just using blueprints. Okay, sorry, it's C#. Shut up. You are trolling me, and I'm not here for it. I will not stand for this today. Sorry for repeating. You seem to miss my previous question. What profiling debugging tools do you use? Not exactly on this game. I said Unreal Insights. That's the profiling tool. But like you can make games in blueprints. You can make games in blueprints using only blueprints, but like, can you do procedural terrain? Can you make your own ECS system? Probably not. So probably not in blueprints can you do those super performance systems, but you can make really large games, but you're kind of just at the whims of whatever the engine does by default if you're only using blueprints, right? So if there's any kind of functionality that the engine doesn't provide, like you're gonna have a hard time extending the existing functionality if it's not like built into blueprints, but still completely possible if you're not doing anything too crazy. Okay, so we're also getting the entity transform. So basically I think I need to pass in entity transforms here, maybe. Entity chunk locations. Do I need to copy the transforms here, I wonder? Because what else can I do here? Because the get entity transform is doing another ad hoc data lookup. So it's like, what could I do there? I could get rid of the ability system here. I'm just using that as like it's a nicety, right? It's nice to just be able to have that. I don't necessarily need that there though, but I do think I would need, I guess maybe I could just return the entities themselves. That would break the, yeah, so I also do I put the player in here as well. I just straight up iterate over the players. And the players are not entities, so I would need to make the players entities. And in doing so, I wonder if I just give the players like a transform entity data and that's it. I guess I would maybe need to tag them with a, I know some ECS systems use like tags, like structs, like they use a piece of entity data as like a tag, right? So it's like, it's just empty, it doesn't have anything. And all you're doing is just checking for the existence of that struct, basically. Okay, let me write a couple things down here. Where do I want to write? I'll just take some random notes. Things to do next. Give me the old bullet point list here. So, handle optional data better, and what this is going to entail. Within a single process entities function, call multiple for eaches with the, god damn, what about all the different combinations? That could get nasty. If it's only like one optional data, it's not that bad. So this is one option. I'll just say option A. Call multiple for eaches with the multiple archetypes, or I'll say with the different archetypal combinations. Is archetypal a word? I'll say con. If there is a, what do I say here? If there is a lot of optional entity data types, there would be a lot of for eaches. That would be unscalable. So there's also like another option where it's like, write an optional, I don't know what to say here, but like write an optional entity data for each. And I don't even know what that would look like, because I would have to do like the variadic template programming again here. But these for eaches are nasty. These are nasty functions here. Nasty hobbitses they are. Nasty hobbitses. Yeah, so it's like you pass in all the entity data types here, but it's like, how would I tell which ones are optional, which ones aren't, you know? I don't know. Rich Pianos, thank you for the sub. Welcome. Hi, what are you making? I'm making a video game. I'm working on building my own ECS system, but kind of just seems like, or kind of just, not seems like, I am, what am I doing right now? I'm just jotting down what I should do next. What is this document? This seems important. Just notes. It's a game dev to-dos. What would this even look like? Question mark. Okay, so that's one thing to do next. Another thing to do next is chunk processor improvements. I would have to like only return to array f what was it, my entity? That's only return that from chunk query instead of f targetable. And then the caller provides the lambda for like the logic, right? And I'll say this would require adding players, adding entities to players. This would need a F player entity data tag to separate it from the rest of the entities. Use Trello like normal human to make tasks. Can you use grammar like a normal human to make comment? Fucking Rex. I'm not making tasks. I'm writing notes. Why I don't need a whole other ass fucking app to make tasks. Like that's so overkill. Like I don't need that. I just need somewhere to write thoughts down. Introducing Google Docs. Since the day I started watching your stream, I am so mesmerized even though I don't understand any of it. Well, thank you for being mesmerized. Yeah, probably just a transform. Also F transform entity data. Use Jira to project manage yourself. Yeah, because that's the overhead that I need in my development process. Yeah, a one-man team. Yeah, let's do a stand-up, and we need a sprint retrospective as well. Bro is always plugging Google products. Dude, it's Google Docs. Like, fucking everybody uses Google Docs, okay? And yeah, I use it because I use it at work every fucking day. Like, I'm just used to using it. My life is just a Google Docs hell. That's probably all the player would need, though. That's probably all they would need. I mean, maybe ability system component data would be good. Hey man, new here. Well, welcome in, Media Dump. Separated from the rest of the entities. Yeah. Yes. What would this even look like? I don't know what this... Back to the optional entity data for each. I'll also jot down like maybe ECS timer system, question mark, maybe. Maybe. Although I don't know what that would look like either. So if I wanted to like subscribe to optional data, give me a processor like state tree. State tree is one that's, excuse me, very optional. And I just do these ad hoc data lookups that, I mean, maybe that's just the best way. Maybe that's just the best way. What's a processor that does that? Maybe like move to? No, velocity probably has some optional one. Yeah, so things like this. Like I just ad hoc get the state tree. Hey, if there's a state tree, reset it, you know? What is your main job? I know you're a developer, but which developer am I? I don't know what kind of answer you're looking for. I'm a software developer. I develop software in a full stack capacity. So I do front end, back, mostly front end, but I do back end and stuff as well. And I don't know that even if I were to write something in here that accepted optional data, I don't even know that it would be any faster than doing something like this. Like it might be just overkill. Depending on how much the optional datas are used. I guess that's why option A would be good. I don't need to change anything. I can just do it a little differently. How do you make it so that the screen follows your cursor? It's just an OBS plugin. It's just OBS zoom follow mouse. MERN stack, no. Use Angular, Dart, and Java. And SQL, and I'm getting into a little C++ at my job as well. Okay. Welcome in, guys. Let me just run around in the world a little bit. Let's see if there's any more issues that come up. I am not a fucking principal engineer. Don't know why you think that. If I was a principal engineer, I would not have any time to be doing what I'm doing right now. Okay. For those who don't know, I am working on an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite game with procedural, destructible terrain, AI-generated quests. Here's the world. Here's me. Here's me. We're only generating a radius of about this big right now. And all those were like kind of different zones. Why does it feel like the colonists are spawning way more frequently than the enemies? Yay. Okay, we're running very smooth. Running very smooth. Is HR okay with me stream? Why would HR care what I do in my free time? I'm not disparaging anything Google related by any means. I do that at work enough. Ricardo, thank you for the sub. Welcome in. So yeah, let me show a little AI generated quest here. So well, I gotta go back and find an entity with a name here. Yeah, so we'll go over to Dev Swift. Is it? We have Lysander Everwood. That sounds like a cooler name, so we're gonna try you out. Hello, sir. Generate a quest. Lysander Everwood is a 21-year-old male half-elf shaman who is dumb and lazy. Oh, that's a great set of traits right there. Lysander was not a bad person, but his lack of intelligence and inherent laziness always seemed to get him into trouble. He much preferred napping under a tree to applying himself. Unsurprisingly, very little changed as Lysander grew up. He wandered aimlessly, taking odd jobs, but never managing to hold down a proper job. Okay, so as I was reading that, there was an API request sent to the Gemini API, where I dumped my entire item database, and every single one of these like colonists' background was dumped in there as well. And I told it to just fill out a JSON object with a fantasy RPG video game quest. And here's what I got back. The Glowcap Gamble is the quest. So here's like the quest log entry over here on the left, and here's the text down here. Hey, you look like you know which end of a sword to hold, or a dagger. Whatever. Right, I need a favor. Small favor. Probably. See, old man Fitzwilliam, the apothecary, he promised me a new sleeping mat stuffed with the finest goose down if I helped him get these rare mushrooms from the Whispering Woods. The glow caps, they're called. Supposed to smell like lavender if you treat them right. Problem is, I'm not feeling so good today, achy. Plus, the Whispering Woods gives me the creeps, and Fitzwilliam needs them for some fancy healing potion he's brewing before, like, tomorrow sunset or something. So do you want to grab those glow caps for me? And I got some dialogue options where you can ask him more about it, and it shows you like the objectives, and I have different like encoded actions that can be performed that the AI can pick from when it creates this quest. And so obtain glow cap, like obtaining, like collecting something, like having it in your inventory and then giving it to the quest giver is like one of those. There's also like talk to, and you can like defeat things, you can like build things. Explore is another one that's used frequently in these. So yeah, that's just like one example of like a quest just generated from AI. And so yeah, hopefully we'll be able to pass in things like the zone name and whatnot into there. Like I'm in a zone called the Giant's Lair apparently, which is kind of a terrible zone name, but Broken Citadel or Wailing Winds, you know, so that'll make it a little bit more flavorful. And then eventually we'll have like points of interest and NPC ran colonies and factions that we'll be passing in and hopefully be able to build out like a coherent quest line. So just kind of proof of concept at the moment. What are you doing? Please move. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. As a beginner, as a beginner to coding, I find myself using LLMs to write code. What advice do you have for me? I mean, it's kind of difficult because when I learned, I didn't have LLMs to learn from, right? I just had Google. But I'll say that like I just copy and pasted code for probably the first 2 years that I was writing code. So at some point you have to make the jump to write it yourself, right? Future games looking good. AI making replayability even greater than before. Yeah, replayability is like one of the peak tenets that I'm kind of going for the game. That's why there's the procedural generation. That's why we're doing roguelite as well. You know, that's why I'm doing all these different zones and all that. Adder, welcome in. Adder doesn't agree. Adder, what's your opinion on my AI generated quests? Yay or nay? I feel like the way I'm using it is like, I think it's all about like, I don't know, like, is authenticity the word I'm looking for? Or like respect, like using it respectfully, right? Like I don't think using it to generate quests for the player to do is like disrespectful or like overbearing or anything like that. You know? Like to me it's just kind of adding flavor to what would be an otherwise like procedural, because I would just be doing quests like in RimWorld if I didn't have an LLM, right? Where there would just be these kind of procedural quests that kind of just get mashed together. Well, I just see the LLM as like a better way to do the same thing there. Me just being dramatic, I think the way that you implement AI is very respectful to the craft. Okay, I'm glad you think so as well, being someone in the industry. It's being used as a tool rather than carrying. Yeah, and I'm not sure, like, what term, like, authenticity is the first one that comes to my mind. Like, I'm being authentic in using it, right? Like, I'm not, like, I don't want AI-generated assets or anything like that. Like, that's, like, inauthentic, I guess, or something. I had ChatGPT do a lot of my wedding planning. Well, congrats on getting married. And, like, who wants to do that, right? Are you? Yeah, I'm just doing a simple Gemini call. I'm not training. There's no model that I could train that would be better than just the general ones. Before LLM, you had to hire an English or psychology grad to come up with these dialogues. I don't think that's true at all. You just write them yourself. You don't have to hire a graduate student for that. Just a tool at the end of the day. I mean, I don't think that's true for all uses of AI. Like when people are just like entirely vibe coding, like it's not just a tool anymore at that point, you know? Not just a tool. It's like carrying, as someone said. A crappy developer will produce a crappy game with or without LLM being involved. Well, a crappy developer without using an LLM could become a good developer in trying to pursue developing a game, which I think I was quite crappy at game development when I started this. And now I think I've gotten better because I didn't use an LLM every step of the way. So there is nuance. There is nuance there. And I probably will do quite a bit of handcrafted things. Like I do want to make like handcrafted storylines where like I am determining what the quest is, but then I'll just use the LLM to just like come up with the actual text for it. Does that make sense? Like the actual dialogue for it and stuff, you know? But like all of the events that happen and the order that they happen in and the options for how it can go, all decided by me. Like I do want to create in that way, you know? I want to make quest lines in that way. Like I do, that would be something that I would enjoy. Goes in line with Tim Sweeney's hot take that devs are lazy. Did he say that? It's giving historical weather patterns, give me best percent weekends for an outdoor wedding. Oof, that's a gamble. You gotta have a backup plan, Adder. My sister tried to do an outdoor wedding and like, it was very serendipitous because like she decided to do it like half and half. And like the outdoor part, like we just finished and then it just started raining. Like right after. It's kind of crazy. What domain do you specialize in, like web dev, mobile, cloud, AI? I mean, I've worked in all of them. So I don't know. I'm probably more of a generalist, honestly. Like I used to do a lot of contracting and freelancing, so I've worked in a lot of different capacities. I've done Mobile apps, I've done web development. I guess I've never made like a desktop app. I've never done embedded development either. I work in the cloud quite often, you know. I thought prompt engineer was a slur or insult for people who vibe code. No, I think vibe code is the slur. The clanker sympathizers. Okay, we had a pathfinding query fail. Yeah. It happens. It happens. So this is where I need to build from source and fix this bullshit. What exactly is null here? Yeah, I guess it would be it's inside the find path, yeah. Oh yeah. It's like is it start node that gets it, that's a null pointer or something? There's something in here. Best poly, that's what it is. Like this best poly, it doesn't get checked. So I think this is the line that it's failing on right here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I need to build from source and fix that. I just need to check if it's valid. If not, just return false or whatever. I don't know if he said lazy specifically, but his whole spiel was very much that mindset. What was it in regards to? Was it in regards to AI? Yeah, in correlation with UE5 and optimization that people love to talk about. Yeah, okay, so it's probably in regards to UE5 optimization. You retired? No, I'm not retired. Basically, devs are not optimizing their games, and they should be, saying that the engine doesn't do all the work, but dude, I mean, I don't know, like, it's to me, it's always the business people, because it's like, no game dev wants to release an unoptimized, buggy mess, right? But it's like the business forces you to push it, right? Which do you prefer, AWS or Google Cloud? It doesn't really matter. They're all the fucking same. The underlying nuts and bolts are the same, just a different interface. But yeah, I always blame the dev. Just slap EA on it, early access. Yeah, that's a better move though. That is a better move because it sets expectations, right? Rather than AAA trying to release a game earlier than it should be. It's a nice seed. This one's kind of nice. Yeah, next big thing I'm going to do is refactor the terrain gen, and we'll start getting into that like a lot more, you know? So that'll be cool. Get some new biomes going, some new terrain noises. Start to make it real different. Real differenter. I should learn from Hello Games. Yeah, they've had quite the rebound. They have had quite the rebound. I mean, I think there are things to learn from Hello Games' failures, though, also, like, not necessarily their successes, because it's like, I think that could have been avoided, right? More time in the kitchen. Can I walk up here? Please, let me up. Let me up. No, okay. Business side of things is where my team got a bit heated on the topic. Consumers only want the latest and greatest, even if they say they don't. Everyone wants 60 FPS at 4K with their 3060 GPU. And business wants that shit shipped yesterday. It puts devs in a really difficult spot when working in UE5 main, which is effectively just a beta test for UE Fortnite. You think UE5 is a beta for UE Fortnite? Interesting. You think we're going to be working in Fortnite script here in UE6? Did you add ray tracing in this? No. I find myself shappy with Python. I aspire to become a generalist like you. Do you think I should learn another lang like Java to explore other domains or just specialize in I mean, I don't. The language is just a tool. Like, that's not where specialization or a generalist comes in. Like, after you've learned your first couple of languages, the language doesn't matter anymore. Like, I know for your first one, like, you know, when I learned my first language, it was like, that's all I know, and it's a big thing to like learn a new language. But once you've done enough, they're all just kind of the same. It's all just a different syntax. The specializations come in with the domain that you're working within. You know, AI, cloud engineering, web development, you know, embedded systems engineer, and then you can specialize even further into different industry business knowledge, which is important as well. I think probably with AI, I think specialists are probably going to be more useful. So having a depth of knowledge on a particular topic, a particular area of development, like game dev is a kind of a specialty, and even within game dev there are many specialties. Gameplay, networking, you know, technical animator, technical artist. So I think it's probably better to specialize. And I think it will be increasingly better to do so. What are we working on today? Just more ECS stuff. Nothing really right now. I just did a vertex animated data kind of refactor. That's working nice now. I'm kind of procrastinating a little bit, I guess. I don't know what I'm working on. I wrote some things down for what I should do next. Probably this is what I should do next. Because I'll need to change how all of the... I'm just gonna like fucking rewrite, yes. Maybe a smaller part to that is like rewrite movement settings, because right now that goes through gas. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's just going to be rewrite gas. I think that's just included in the rewrite gas. We can just use that as like a testy test. Jed. Don't often agree with Tim after the Y up announcement. But he's just out there pointing out that optimization should not be an afterthought. The engine itself is not the problem. We have everything available to optimize backport features, cater the engine to our needs, and utilize the features provided for free during development. Crazy how Epic is taking all the heat on that. Yeah, and like, you know, the YouTube Shorts algorithm also gives me some people who have said like, you know, who just come in here and talk shit on Unreal Engine, and therefore me as an Unreal Engine developer. Yeah, I've never seen it as a dev issue. I've never seen it as an Unreal Engine issue either. Like, I see it as a business issue. And really the only reason that it is an issue is because Unreal Engine makes it so easy to release a game. You know, to release a really good looking game. Because that's the thing, like Unreal Engine has like Lumen and Nanite and these like, you know, these like really fancy new features that make your game look awesome, but there are some pretty complex performance considerations you need to make. So it's like, yeah, you can turn those on pretty easily and make and ship a game pretty easily. But optimizing it is a different story. Who's Tim Sweeney? He's the CEO of Epic, so we're just kind of memeing on him a little bit. Is there any cloud part in game dev? Yeah, if you make a multiplayer server, yeah, there can be some of that. You'd have to make like a standalone server though, so. In Unreal Engine, it kind of like, what you can do is you can write RPCs within the engine code, and then you can build your code in the server version and the client version, and it's like the same code base, but it's two different binaries, and so there's not like, you don't actually need to do like cloud architecture or anything. But if you do like dedicated servers and do like an MMO, like there would be some cloud parts in that, for sure. I feel like players don't actually care too much about a few bugs if the game is a memorable experience. Skyrim has bugs at many places, but I love it. Well, it depends on what the bugs are, right? Like if your game is just crashing, that's probably the worst. if there's some way that you lose progress, or there's something that just breaks your progression. Like, those are like pretty bad bugs, right? Like, those are the thing. You know, if it looks a little wonky when your character's doing something, like, do people care about that so much? No, you know. If the NPCs don't act perfectly, you know, if he glitches a little bit as he walks by the screen as I'm talking about bugs, do people care about that? No, I don't think so. I don't think they care about it. Yeah, if the game is good, the game is good. And it doesn't matter about the little details like that so much. But yeah, if your game is stable, you know, I think you're probably good for the most part. And if it can actually, like, I think frame hitching a lot, like, that's pretty annoying to play through. So, yeah, that's probably another bad one. I'm in the process of building Balatro in the terminal so that we can benchmark LLMs against it. Interesting. Not looking for advice, just want to say it turned out to be a much bigger undertaking than I thought. Which part? The benchmarks or the building the game? What is this? What do we have here? Another pathfinding issue. Another pathfinding issue. I was really hoping that 5.7 would come out before I would have to build from source. Give me one more engine update before I have to do merge conflicts, please. I really want the nanite foliage, please. Give me the voxel nanite foliage and then I'm good. I'll pin version 5.7. Sometimes in these games, bugs provide at least 10 years worth of memes. It's fantastic. Yeah, like fucking roach on top of a house. I'm pretty sure that came from a bug. The game itself, way more complicated than it looks on the surface. Interesting. Yeah, I've never played Balatro. What is ECS? Entity Component System. It's a data-driven architecture that can really efficiently run thousands and thousands of entities. As you, all those entities you saw in the world were all like running constantly, even though they didn't really need to be. So like this. Once they all spawn, it'll get a lot more performant. Prismatica, he's alive. Yeah, Prismatica, last stream I saw, one of your cats looked suspiciously human-like. So yeah, here's my ECS. 2K, 2,000 entities. We're rocking 40 FPS right now. We can do better. There's some things I can move to the background thread to do even better. Yeah, that's the amethyst cat, yeah. Suspicious. Well, I guess now it's just like the ISM stuff is can be replaced with structured bindings. I wonder, are structured bindings more performant or not? What's your thoughts on building a startup? I don't know if I have any on that. Sacrificing pretty much everything versus just having a smaller lifestyle escape velocity. Say a Google job and then just coasting. Yeah, I don't know that I have any specific thoughts on that. I think you should do what you enjoy. Are you rendering the models / animations only, or do they all have backstory generated? All the backstory is like dumped into a database and it's just selected at random when an entity spawns. So it's pre-generated stories and stuff. I'll probably generate them when needed for the real thing. Okay, another thing I want to do next is move ISM and attachment processors to background threads, which we can maybe do. I don't have a whole lot of time left, but I can maybe do that. I can maybe do that now. So I will need to rewrite them considerably. I was trying to see, and I may be able to keep them on. Well, no, I might just want to do parallel 4. I was hoping to see. I was trying to see if I could just keep them on the game thread. Sickness and other busy work. Oh man. Which would you prefer, busy work or sickness? I guess it depends on the sickness. And the busy work. What were you doing before principal engineer at Google? I am, for the last fucking time, I am not a principal engineer. So yeah, I think setting custom data right here and then update instance transform, those both need to happen on the game thread. By the way, there's a lot of NPC spawns. You could build a mental pyramid with all those workers. Yes. Workers. The workers who yearn for the mines. They do. They yearn for them. They do. They do. So I guess if I'm running the calculations, this part could go on the background thread. So let me take a peek. Let me look at one of our traces here. The custom data part. The ISM processor, 3.5 milliseconds for 2,000 entities. How much of that is... I mean, there's a good chunk that's just process entity locomotion. So it's like... what do we have? 880 microseconds. What happened? We have about 800. Wait, what is this? .2. Wait, what happened? I lost my spot. There we go. Like 600, and then like 500. So I don't know. I mean, maybe like half. I could cut this in half. Where did you learn UE5? Right here, right here in the engine. I didn't have to go anywhere to learn it. Actually, I just tried and failed a lot until I figured it out. What is this? Can someone explain what bro is doing? Yo, dude, what are you doing? Can you explain? Okay, relax. It's okay. You're gonna be okay. Everything's okay. I'm making a video game in Unreal Engine. I'm working on performance improvements right now. That's what we were looking at. We were looking at the performance profile. You're okay. You're okay. If you don't know what I'm doing, that's okay too. I just joined your stream. Can you explain what you are doing? If you just hung out for more than a few seconds, you might start to realize. So I think, yeah, custom data I don't think can be set on, well, it's like really I should just do all of it maybe. And then I think adding the ISM instance needs to happen on the game thread, as does removing the ISM. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. Processing equals false. Am I going to do multiple processors here? Well, first of all, let's just split this. Let's just split. I'm going to copy it. He would be a really good therapist. Yeah, well, I would hope. I'm going to have to tell my girlfriend about that because she is a therapist. Like, all right, babe, I'm in. Okay, so basically don't do those two things or this. LOD data, don't need you anymore. And thank you very much. First time someone actually asked if I'm okay. Did I ask? I don't know. I think I told you it was going to be okay. I didn't ask. my bad. Okay, so let's split this up here. This actually I want to go up front. So we don't actually need to do this part anymore. Or, no, that still very much needs to happen. This part does not. So we've just split this up a little bit. So let's see what kind of a difference that makes, if any. Just got here. How's it going? It's going well. Welcome in. My mental health has been cooked because of college and terrible sleep. Yeah, you gotta get good sleep, my dude. You gotta eat well and you gotta get good sleep. That's like the two most important things, man. You're gonna have a bad day if you don't do those things. Modding, question mark. No, making my own game. Okay, there we go. So let's do some, I mean, do I need a better, I think I need to actually split these. Yeah, well, velocity data I don't need either here anymore. Okay, so we need to do some more here. Process entities, what is this? This is, I'll say game thread stuff. And this one's going to be background thread, even though it's not running on the background thread yet. I know. And then do I want to see the loop here? Let's add a CPU trace CPU profiler event scope. Yes, that. Give me that. Thread loop. I want to see the inner. Okay, run live coding on that. Run live coding on that. Four a.m. I'm gonna go to sleep. We'll join your stream later when I wake up. Thank you for joining, and yes, please go to sleep. Have a good night. Have a guten Nacht. Okay, let's see. All right, already. I guess I need to check. Well, it doesn't have a valid instance. What is the num custom data on here? I guess I could probably see here, right? It's empty. Okay, so let's just say let's just check if it's not empty. We'll do that. Just check if it's not empty. When did you begin working on this game? It was about 3 years ago. Approaching 3 years. Mem copy issue. Wonderful. Of course, I didn't get the line number either. Set custom data. Okay, we just need to rebuild. I don't know if there's going to be an issue here or not. Okay, so we'll see after this runs if that made any performance improvement, just splitting those up. I don't think it will make any substantial change, but what I'm looking for is to just for it to not get worse, or at least much worse. Ristian, thank you for the sub. Welcome. Have a good day, man. I'll also go. Well, thanks for stopping by, and you have a good day as well. Alrighty, so when I was thinking about even combining the attachment processor and ISM processor to keep them, to make sure they stay in sync, because they can kind of get, when running on the background threads, they can kind of get out of sync, but I think they're running fast enough that wouldn't happen now. But we'll see. They're all blinking when they start spawning too. I gotta set the faction color properly. Okay, so they're all spawned. Let's trace for a little bit here. Do your viewers get discount when you launch on Steam? Sure. Yeah, in 20 years. In 20 years when I launch on Steam. We're getting like 40, 44, 43 FPS here. It seems about the same, so I don't think that made a substantial difference. I don't think so. Okay. Let's take a peek at that guy. So just show me one frame randomly here. I think that actually is taking longer. I feel like it was about 3 milliseconds before. Yeah, so this might actually be taking a bit longer. But the game thread stuff, the game thread stuff, the things that I would need to run on the game thread, that's down to 1.2 milliseconds. So that's good. That is good. And that the loops there are nice and tight. Nice and tight. Now, these guys process entity locomotion. So yeah, I gotta copy the transform there. Okay, let me grab the big picture now. Okay, ISM processors. Okay, so it has split them apart. So game thread actually average and median 1 millisecond, max 2.5. And then the process entities background thread, which is still running on the game thread. Max is 4.3, average 2.7, median 2.6. So actually, like, the median and average are about the same if I add them up. Same as before. So I think I just grabbed kind of a slower frame. Looking at my last profile, the ISM was totaling 3.6, 3.5, 8. ISM now, the max is like 6.8 if I add them together. Average and median are 3.7, 3.6. So that's almost exactly the same. So yeah, there's not that much overhead to splitting those apart, which is good. So now let's move and groove one of these on the background thread. Now this means they're going to be like out of sync, I think. That means they're going to be out of sync. So that's game thread. So this is now async. Is there anything special I need to do here? ISM entity data is going to be an interesting one. I don't know that I edit that anywhere. That's not here. Okay, so let's scooch that on over. Scooch it to the background thread. Nice. Okay, run it. What's up, brother? Having a good day, I hope? I am. Dropping a like, be blessed. Thank you, appreciate that. Dude, why does this happen on the background thread so much? Do I need to thread lock the fucking ISM data? Like, that's so annoying. That's so annoying that I have to... What's happening on the game thread right now? Yeah, we are doing read write here. Okay, so I think I do have to, like, read lock the fucking ISM entity data. And actually, this should be... That should be edit. And this could be const, actually. Technically. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that edits it as well. Oh, yeah, so they both edit. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna need to do some locking here. I think, yeah, we're setting it here. Yeah, okay, so I think I need a lock on, I need a mutex on here. So let's do mutable f read write lock. I'll call it, just say ISM lock. So we'll do f read scope lock, like so. And then I wonder if I should just have entry point functions on here so that I don't need to expose the ISM lock very much. So that's going to go, take that back to non-const. So add entity instance ISM data transform. I mean, I don't know. There's kind of a lot here. So ISM blocks. We're going to do f write scope lock, lock it, pop lock and drop it. Yeah, basically till the end of the thread. That's fine. That's fine. I'll need another one of those. Probably here. So I think replace that one. What's happening here? Why is that an issue? I think, Ryder, I think you're lying to me about this. That was not an issue before, and it shouldn't be now. That should be fine, because it's a reference, so... Yeah, I don't know why that's... Okay, give me one moment. What is a mutex? A mutex is a way to protect from threading issues. You can't read to and write from, you can't read and write to the same piece of memory from two different threads. You can't write. You can read something from multiple threads, but you can't write something from multiple threads. So a mutex protects from that happening. Which is what this is what happens. This is this exception that we're dealing with is what happens. So yeah, I guess I need to do a read lock here. And then this should be a write lock. So this is going to be issues. This is going to be issues. Eventually. Okay, let's see if that's fixed. What are you dealing with? Okay. Can I do a write lock within a read lock? Is that a thing? Or do I need to... let's do this. Let's scope it just to make sure. Scope it. Okay, yeah, it did not like that, did it? Attempting to reference a deleted function. Oh, is it How is that? Wait, what happened? What happened there? What is this complaining about? What is this complaining about? What function got fucking deleted? It was implicitly deleted because a base class invokes a delete or inaccessible function. For attached actors, it said tmap. Of attached, because I added the mutex on here, is that? If I take the mutex off. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Why does that cause issues? Why can't I reset that? I guess the lock is in like use. So I have ISM subsystem and ISM processor. Okay, why? Okay, why? Let's Google search here. So, why can't I reassign struct when I put a mutex in it? What's the issue? Okay, just let me write some better explicit. Do I need to write a destructor? What if it's not mutable? Curious. What if it's not mutable? Is that fine? Why did that delete the operator? Select an operator instruct after adding mutex. You'll need to lock the mutexes during assignment, unless you can otherwise guarantee multiple threads aren't asking each other. Yeah, but like I can't even compile, and I am trying to lock it. I mean, really what I want to do is I just want to clear out this data, so maybe I should just do that. Let's just write a clear function, because I don't really care about setting it to a new thing. Okay, does that help? I mean, those other ones are probably still going to pop up, right? Yeah, okay, so what's the deal there? It's attachment entity data, which I guess is on... Why is this one an issue? Are you winning, Wizard? Not currently. Why would a mutex on a different type affect this? it's a T map of T weak pointer. Function was implicitly deleted because a base class invokes a deleted or inaccessible function. Why is that an inaccessible function now? Just because I added a mutex to a different data type? I guess there's entity anim state. Does that have an impact? I mean, yeah, how the hell is this working? Okay, so now the new issue is can't for each after adding mutex to unrelated struct. It's almost certainly because you're inadvertently copying a synchronization primitive. Okay, hang on, let me do C++. C. Non-copyable mutex in the constructor. This is why God made ChatGPT. Did God make... Is Sam Altman God? This is such a weird issue. It's not even happening like within... Add entity. I mean, maybe it is. No, that's just spawning. Enable or disable actor. Yeah, what the fuck issue is happening here, dude? And it's only... Okay, should I just like iterate over the keys instead or some shit? I mean, I'm only using the key anyway. And this is just for debugging. Okay, T array. What am I saying is the key of T weak object pointer actor attached actors dot generate key array keys for each attached actor in keys. There you go. Would you work at OpenAI if they 2x your salary? Yeah, probably. Yeah. What about if the same current pay package? Well, I know they don't do remote work, so for that reason I'm out. Okay, so now there's the same issue with attached components. Which is a T pair of what now? What now? What now, Bobby? Keys. Okay. We'll say component key. Oh, it's a T array, right? Okay, are we good now? Okay, so now it's just moving down the line here. I'm also copying here, which probably I shouldn't be doing. Why, dude, there's so many fucking issues now. What the fuck? It's because there's a mutex. Okay, like why? Okay, so it's like assignment C++, Unreal Engine, assignment operator broken after adding mutex. To make it non-copyable. I guess I get that. Okay. I guess I get why it's an issue. A map of shared pointer in a non-copyable class. Trying to copy a mutex is a can of worms. You have to figure out what to do about the mutex. Most likely you want to create a mutex yourself. Use a mutex pointer. Yeah, I might prompt for this. I might prompt for this. I feel like this might be the kind of thing AI would be good at. So let's give it my entity data here. Okay. Can you fix the assignment operator being broken because I added the mutex? This is for Unreal Engine C++. Okay. Okay, so I guess I need to do something I just need it to like handle copying the mutex in some way. So I am curious about what AI thinks is the proper way to do this, which probably has a better understanding of the low-level C++ stuff than I do. So we'll see. Bro was hating on vibe coders, now he's one of us. Because I used one prompt. Yeah, I'm not hating on vibe coders. I am hating on vibe coding because I don't enjoy it. But to me, vibe coding is more than just doing a prompt. A single, you know, like one prompt, right? Vibe coding is like doing your entire project, mostly by using the AI. Oh my god, how much, dude, how much did you change? Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Correctly identified the issue. The read-write lock itself doesn't need to be copied. Each instance should have its own unique lock. The assignment operator should copy all the data from the source object to the destination object in a thread-safe way. Yeah, just give me the implementation for the operator. And for completeness, a copy constructor. Okay. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. There's so much. Okay. Okay, so let's take a peek at this code. Other lock. Lock the source object to ensure a thread-safe copy of its data. We don't need to lock this because the object is still being constructed. No other thread can have a reference to it yet. That makes sense. Required because read-write lock is non-copyable. We only copy the data, not the lock itself. We don't need that. That's obvious. You might also want to move semantics for performance, although it's not strictly required to fix the error. Okay, let's go without that. I probably do use move semantics, so we'll keep that. AI is very comment heavy. I do have to say. Okay, so maybe we don't need the clear anymore. Let's see if we need that clear anymore. We don't. Interesting. So I wonder what happens if we try to like reassign when we're already within a lock or something. Because technically I would need a read lock here. Okay, did that fix the issue? And we compile now. So I probably forgot some spots to lock it. I think I probably forgot some. ISM processor. Read lock, yeah. ISM entity data, we just do a write lock because we're gonna write to it, yeah. Okay, we compiled. Wow, that's a dub for AI. We'll see if it actually works though. We'll see if it actually works. Okay, yeah, we'll just run it, and I'm gonna guess that we just crash, or we freeze rather, because we're fucking locked now. Yeah, we're stuck on a lock somewhere. Yep, there it is. There it is. So I think this is because we're already within a read lock. Yeah, we are already within a read lock, so that's probably why. Okay, so I should probably just grab a write lock. I should probably just do a write lock here. And then when we add, we just don't need to do that because we're already... UE5 is CPU or GPU intensive? I mean, that's completely dependent on what you do with it. Okay, let's try again. Unreal Engine, yes. C++, yes. Okay, so that's there's probably going to be a number of situations like that we'll just have to iron out, right? Hey, is this back-end or front-end coding? Neither. It's game development. Okay, so we're frozen again. Same spot? No, different spot. Has valid instance. Oh yeah, because we're going to be doing that from... has valid instance. So we're just going to lock on that every time. Should I be doing that? No. Do it from outside. Do it from outside. Okay. Okay, we're almost out of time for the day. So I hope I can get this working before then. That would be a nice little cherry on top for the day. Attachment processor is still on the game thread. I want to move that to the background thread as well. That one I think might be a bit easier. That's attachment entity data. I'll delete that. I'm from India. And I love making people coding and making something on YouTube. You got my sub. Thank you for your sub. Appreciate that. And welcome in. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're not thread locked anymore. Now we are. Now we are. Okay, we got a little bit further that time. Where are we stuck at? Okay, remove entity instance, which, yeah, okay, yeah, because we're already locking from outside. We're already locking from outside. So yeah, we're just going to lock at the for loop level. Yeah, we're just locking from outside these functions. So these functions should not give a shit about locking. Okay, try again. One more time. These Indians are everywhere. Well, it's a large country. It's a large, large, maybe not large enough, but there's a lot of people. A lot of people in that country. I don't know C++, but seeing your thought process amazes me. Impressive. Filthy scammers. Okay, let's not generalize, all right? You got one more opportunity to be nice. We're moving and grooving now, baby. Okay, yeah, so we're all spawned here. We are all spawned here. Let's trace it now. I don't notice the FPS increasing at all, which is kind of sad. It should have been at least a small bump. Okay, I'm just gonna let that soak for a little bit. Look at all these peoples. Wow. Okay. Can it shut down properly? No, it cannot. No, it cannot. Okay. Dude, this fucking issue again. Fuck. Okay, where else is this being used at? Is this being used anywhere else? I feel like there's a ref somewhere that's like hanging on to this. Okay, not sure what was going on with that thread. Unknown. That's sus as fuck. I'll be honest, that's sus as fuck. I'll probably need to audit this desired inventory items, go through and just figure out everywhere it's fucking used, because I know it's used in BPs as well, if I'm not mistaken, in some of my blueprints. Okay, let's restart it and take a peek at that trace, though. I want to see that before I get off for the day here. Appreciate y'all being here, by the way. For the stream. Appreciate it. Okay, so here's our last trace here. So let me just take a peek at a thread here. So ISM processor, yeah, so the game thread part of the ISM is now down to 1.4. So we were rocking initially, very, very initially. We started at, for ISM, 14 milliseconds. Now we're down to 1.4. Now we're down to 1.4 on the game thread. Now, that's because we offloaded some on the background thread. Okay, so let's do, give me the big picture here. Give me like that. ISM processor. Game thread, max 3.9, average 1.2, median 1.1. For the background stuff, max is 20 milliseconds, which is, I guess the thread locking does kind of make that a little hitchier, which I want to take a look at some of these spikes and see if it's from that or not. And so average 2.9, 2.7. So yeah, we're still basically in line with the total time where we were before, around 3.7, I think it was average. 2.9, what is 2.9 plus 1.2? That's a little high, so it's a little higher. But I guess there's just some overhead for the locking, and that's on the background thread, so that's fine. That's fine. Let's take a peek at some of these spiky boys here. Yeah, so that's just like, I don't even know what the fuck was happening there. What were we waiting for there? Probably just some in-editor nonsense. That's slate is happening. Wind pump messages, which is an editor thing. I'm pretty sure. Slate again. What the hell was ticking here? Oh, that's Slate still. Okay. Slate. 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 Game thread waiting. Game thread waiting. Waiting. What about this guy? Chunk processor was the issue there. Oh, interesting. What is this? Oh, is this for my character? Why did that take 20 milliseconds, that frame? Directory watcher, yeah, an editor thing again. Yeah, fucking ability system component, timers. Yeah, nothing. Where was the like 20 millisecond one, I wonder? Still not an issue. A lot of just rendering. This is probably from me like moving or popping out and moving around the editor. Slate again, yeah. So none of these are from. Well, some of them are from my code, but not the code we're talking about right now. So I think that's looking pretty good. I think that seems pretty good. Let's look at like something like this. Like this. Ooh, that was less than a millisecond. And dude, once we parallel process those two, when we throw those bad boys into parallel 4, we are fucking cooking. Off to the races. Yeah, where was the one that was 20 milliseconds? Didn't it say that was like the max or whatever? Timer manager ticked, taking forever. What's going on here? Looks like something interesting. What are all these? So this is a profile, like a performance profile. So this shows me like all the different functions and stuff. Right now I'm working on this block right here. Process entities, ISM processor. Yeah, we're just kind of auditing, going through. So here's what we were cooking with here. So yeah, I think we're at a good spot. Uh-oh, are we thread locked again? Okay, so we didn't solve it. We didn't solve it. We're thread locked again. Interesting that was that inconsistent. Oh, right. So the remove. Should I? Interesting. Okay, yeah, this does make sense. Yeah. So this is actually already locked here. So I'm going to comment that out. I'm going to say caller should handle locking this. And that should fix that. Try Temple OS. Actually, yeah, we had someone mention that the other day. I think bro did PhD in CS. No, I don't have a college degree. I dropped out of college. Was you a computer science major? No. I dropped out of college. PC specs, I have a 7700X and a 3080 Ti, 64 gigs of RAM. So I'll show the game here. I am about to hop off. I gotta do work today. Gots to do some work today. Okay. Black Bond, you need to be nice. If you're not gonna be nice, I'm gonna kick you out. You don't have to call people dumb because they don't have the same level of understanding that you do. That's actually pretty arrogant. And shows a very, very low social IQ. Well, let's run that again. So yeah, we're spawning, so performance is bad while we're spawning. What distro is it? This is Windows. So yeah, this is the ECS system. We got 2,000 entities spawned right now. 2,000 entities spawned right now. Rocking like 43 FPS. We can do better. But I'll show the game. So I'm working on an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural destructible terrain and AI generated quests. So I'm picturing something like Vanilla WoW plus RimWorld plus Hades. You know, maybe sprinkle a little bit of Minecraft, Valheim, Legend of Zelda influences in there as well. And so yeah, you spawn into a world, different seed each time. And I'm thread locked. Am I? Oh no, we're okay. Assertion. Assertion. And so here's the world map. Every zone, it's a procedurally generated as well, so this will be different for each world. Each one of these zones has like a different name with like a different, it'll ideally have a different biome as well. You can see as I hover over them, like the different names, like this is called Silver Glow Sanctuary, Skyreach Spire right here, the Cemetery of Remembrance, Ninja Village of some of these suck. These are like just random AI generated names, but eventually I'll be passing in like everything that spawned into each one of these zones into the AI prompt to like generate a flavorful name. So if you can just imagine as I'm saying some of these names what that zone would look like Emberfall, Wormwood Forest, Wailing Peaks, Blood Shadow Ridge, you know, just like imagine what some of those might look like, you know. And so eventually we'll do, like the quests will take into account like what zone they're in. I'll be spawning points of interest in the zones and stuff like that. I'll pass into the AI like what the terrain is made out of, what resources are spawned there, what points of interest are in there, what kind of mobs are in there and stuff like that, so. Yeah, we got the underground caves as well, which is a fucking giga pain in the ass to figure out, but we got it and they look sick now. They look sick. We got the noodle caves and the cheese caves. So yeah, we got a couple different terrain noises here. Like this zone is a very spiky, craggy terrain. This one's more moderate. This one over here has like high mountains. This one over here is like kind of flat. Right now we only have like 2 biomes at the moment. One of which is like my foresty biome that we're looking at here. And the other one is this, it's a meadows biome, so it's in like the wrong terrain, but it's got like sunflowers and there's some hemp around here somewhere. Could be some hemp around here somewhere. A hem. A hem. There should be some hemp around here somewhere. And there's not. There's only sunflowers. There's only sunflowers. Oh, there's some. There you go. Some hemp right there. So that is a little bit about the game. Just a little bit. A little sneak peek. We can generate some more seeds as well. And it's running nicely. It is running nicely. And I'll be running the entire world, or at least as much as possible, to kind of make the world feel alive. So it's like you may build a colony, you know, right here, but then you may run clear on the other side of the world. The world is 15 kilometers large, so it's a really big world. And your colony's still going to be running, right? Like if you sent guys out to the forest to go chop trees, they're still going to have to run all the way over there to chop those trees. And if there's any bandits or wolves in the forest, they're going to get attacked whether you're there or not. And so I'm hoping that that makes the world feel really alive. I want some NPC ran colonies as well to create like different factions to interact with, do different quests from different you know, zones as well, from different points of interest and stuff. And so like, yeah, you create a colony here, but if you run to the clear other side of the world and the game crashes. What happened here? None. Tag name none. So we got some invalid taggy boys here. Why? Why? But yeah, I'm writing my ECS system. I'm rewriting it, but I'm writing it so that I can run the entire world. What's happening here? So we do get movement info. What is the movement data at this point? Oh dear. Oh dear. Why is my... So I might need a copy constructor for this bad boy. Yeah, this movement settings map does not seem to be behaving. And I think probably this is another side effect of me moving the archetypal data around. Because I switched from using like entity data pools, where the data was like pretty stable, to doing like an archetypal approach where anytime data is added or removed from an entity, the memory location actually moves to allow for faster processing. But it's like when I do some of these lookups here, that makes it a bit difficult, especially this is a velocity processor, so this is running on the background thread, so I probably should be copying this. Yeah, that's probably what I... Yeah, so I think what I need to write down so I remember. Things to do next. Make sure any... I'm calling these ad hoc entity data gets copy the result, basically. Yeah, I need to copy that result because it could, if on the background thread. Make sure any background thread ad hoc entity data gets copy the result. You absolutely have to do that because it's like this data got moved. I'm going to assume if I switch to like the game thread or something, we're going to see it. Maybe there's no way it got removed from a different thread. I mean, maybe it already passed it up. Yeah, I mean, I think we already passed it. So it wouldn't be stuck there then. And a bunch of stuff on the background thread now. So that's another concept that I need to go through and fix. Yeah. Yep. Although I'm getting keys. Oh, yeah, but the underline... Yeah, no, the underline data's gone. It's gone. I wonder if I should return a T-shared pointer. Would that help? If I made a shared pointer, would that help? I don't know. Switch to Linux, 70% of your problems will go. You're starting to sound very elitist and like you don't know what you're talking about. If you understood what I was saying, you'd understand that these issues are not operating system dependent. You sound like that kid in high school who learned how to like write code for the first time or something and is like bragging about like showing it off. And he doesn't actually know what he's talking about. So let's try returning T shared pointer. We'll see. Although the data underneath it is going to move. So I don't think I'll look into that, but I don't think that's going to work. It's something to look into though. Okay. Let's find someone to send you guys over to. Not very. No one's streaming today. No one's streaming. Let's see. Is anyone doing Unreal Engine? Unreal Engine things. Oh god, I lost my place. Well, we'll just raid Sorcery Story. How about that? She's working on a Colony Sim as well. Colony Sim RPG. So a little bit of crossover there. She's doing pixel top down, which I love. And she looks quite a bit further than I am in the process. So I'm going to send you guys over there. I just want to thank everyone for hanging out with me today. Appreciate it. I appreciate you. And I hope to see you guys again. I probably should be streaming tomorrow morning as well. We made some good progress today. I'm happy. More progress to be made. Entity system is looking good. Looking good. So yeah. Thanks again, everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. So thank you all, and goodbye.